Just want to make sure that got it. Wonderful. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. An official hello. Welcome to this LinkedIn event. I'm so impressed that people come to a webinar that they sign up for. I know that I have done that many times. It takes a certain commitment to come here, and I appreciate that. I also love people who are interested in learning. I know I'm a lifelong learner, and I love to see that, especially when it comes to speaking skills. Now, I am curious as to where you are all from. Do you want to just put that in the chat? Tell me where you're from. Allison, hello. Hey, great to see you. Yeah, where are you from? Where are you from? Allison is from Ontario, Montreal, a little bit. Oh, no problem, Glenn. Ottawa. We're going far here. Montreal, Orangeville, Ontario. Yay. Yay. Dina is here, Montreal. Okay, well, this is very local. We should have met up at my studio. Silicon Valley, wonderful. Hastings, Ontario, London, UK. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so great to have you guys. All right, now this is an interactive event, but participation is completely optional. If you have that choice, if you want to participate in the chat, that will be good. If you want to speak up, just unmute yourself. I am recording it, as you see, but I'm only going to share recording footage of myself, no participants. So please feel free to participate. And that's it. Let's get started. Let's get started. Hello, Nadej. Nadej, is that how I pronounce your name? Oh, yes. Yes, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Okay. 3 tools to transform. I'm sorry?
Tomorrow.
Sorry? Okay. Okay, somebody said something. All right. So this webinar, this event is called 3 Tools to Transform Your Speaking. Now, how is that even possible? I know that sounds like some marketing spiel, but it's actually something that I have been passionate about for this last year or so. Normally, we train speakers in depth in voice and in content, performance, and in the actual speaking. But I've always been curious, how can we distill it down to just a few tools? What are the tools that we can adopt quickly that will make a big change in a short amount of time? And that's what I'm focusing on. Now, the tools are different. They're different from what you're used to. And they will be, and different means it could feel a little bit awkward, a little bit strange. But just remember, if you do have that feeling, these are all based on human behavior. It's based on what we actually do, all of us in this room and all of us on the planet actually do every day when we speak, we express ourselves. So, great speakers, what are the secrets of great speakers? First, let me ask you, who is a speaker that you love, that you would love to speak more like? Who is a great speaker? Of course, I put it right out there. Obama is often a favorite. That might be your favorite speaker. Anybody else? Maybe it's somebody I don't know, which I love. Obama, Nelson Mandela, Michelle Obama, Viola Davis. Yes, yes, yes. And tell me something, Brene Brown. Yes, yes, absolutely agree. Now tell me something. Do you remember a great speech of theirs? Do you remember what it felt like to listen to them? And write that in the chat. What did it feel like? When I think of a speech, Brene Brown or Obama, I get a certain feeling. What is it? You're inspired? Yeah, Sana, exactly. You feel like you're speaking right to me. I love that. Inspire, connected. Yeah, authenticity. You got it. You got it. You got it. And I want you to imagine what it would be like if your audience felt a little bit more like that when they're listening to your presentations. What would that do? How would you feel differently about presenting? How would that change your career track, the way people perceive you? What would that do? Empowered. Dina says, I'd feel more empowered. Yeah. Credibility, have more credibility. Yes, yes. Less fear. Yeah, I mean, they say speaking is scarier than death when you think about it. Feel more understood. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, now we're going to take the typical speaker. I hope this is not a typical speaker, but if you take a typical speech that you've heard, a presentation recently, how did you feel as a listener? How was that different? How did you feel? What is it like to listen to your typical speaker? Bored? Often the case, bombastic. Yeah, I know. I can be a little bombastic, confused, waste of time. Yeah, critical, monotonous. Yes, yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness, I hear you. Annoying. Yeah, exactly. So what's the secret? What's the secret of these great speakers? What is the secret? I will tell you the secret. I will tell you the secret. They are human. They are human. They are human in front of us. Now you may think, hey, whoa, what am I, chopped liver? I'm not a human being. Yes, you are a human being. I am sure you are a human being. But when you speak, I'm not so sure. There's something that happens when people go from their daily selves to when they speak. And you spoke about it already. It gets monotonous. It gets boring. But why? Why? We actually lose the patterns of spontaneity. We lose the patterns in our speech, in the rhythm, in our tone that make us human and make us individuals. Now, why does this happen? Tradition feels professional. It's what everybody does, but it's not spontaneous. And that's what speakers are able to do. Now, a lot of people I know think of themselves as authentic speakers, but if those patterns are not there, the patterns, the inflections, the rhythms, the right emphasis, then it will not come across as genuine. The great speakers, they haven't learned how to do this. It's instinct. It's just instinct. They have these amazing, amazing natural gifts. What's great about the tools I will show you is that they will trigger some of this spontaneous response. You can learn all those skills and all those patterns, but I'm interested in what tools will trigger it on their own, enough to make a big difference. So what are these skills? The number one skill, this addresses a problem that I have seen across the board. Almost everybody does this. I'm not going to explain it. I would actually like a volunteer to read the next slide so we can listen to it. And then when you hear them, instead of looking at the slide, just listen. You can either watch them speak or just close your eyes, but try not to read along. I want to simulate that audience experience. Do I have a volunteer to read the slide? I'm not going to call on anybody. I want somebody to volunteer. You don't want to hear it. All right, great. Here we go.
Systems have been put in place to address every one of our challenges, and for that reason, we are confident that the upcoming quarter will be a pivotal one, and that 12 months from now, we can expect to see notable gains, which is especially important because we may be going into a long period of slow growth.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, tell me, does that sound pretty typical of what you hear in a presentation? Tell me in the chat, is that pretty typical? Yeah, you've heard that millions of times. Okay, now how did it feel to listen to that? How did you feel? Neutral? Overwhelmed with information. Yeah. Does that happen when you go to presentate? Not very inspired. Right, right. And how do you feel when you're not inspired? What happens then? Do you keep listening? Oh, she did well. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's not the fault of the reader. Yeah. So that's the typical disconnected, exactly. That is the typical pattern we see in presenters. What they do is they just add a lot of thoughts and they keep connecting them with and, which, but, because, and they just keep talking, and I'm doing it right now. And it's really easy and relaxing to do that. I just keep adding stuff. And there's that disengagement. That's just deadly. Okay, now can I have, who read that? Because I can't see everybody. Who read that? Can the same person read the solution? And again, try not to read the slide. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Please read the solution And everybody, again, don't read the slide, just listen. Do you want to read? Yeah, great. Read slide, the slide. This is the solution slide.
Sorry, I was just looking for my unmute. Okay, here we are.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Systems have been put in place. They address every one of our challenges. For that reason, we are confident that the upcoming quarter will be a pivotal one. 12 months from now, we can expect to see notable gains. That is especially important because we may be going into a long period of slow growth.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, comments. Is there a difference? You can speak up as well. You can unmute yourselves or tell me in the chat. Did you notice a difference? Easier to understand. Yeah, you could hear the punctuation, shorter sentences. Exactly. More pauses. Yes. Less of a run-on. Yeah. One idea per sentence. Oh, brilliant. And that better structure. The flow, more succinct. Yes. Yes. Now, did you hear a difference in her voice, in her expression? What was the difference? Yeah, you felt she was communicating. Yeah, you notice a change in the patterns, a little high and low. Yeah, more energy. Yeah. So guess what? In human expression, we have pitch changes. We have energy in the speaking when we are passionate, when we're interested in what we're speaking. And so she's already triggering some of that human behavior just by using what we call one-on-one. That's the tool, one-on-one. Remember that. What does that mean? One idea per statement. And then take a little break. And then another one. And take a little break. When I say little break, I mean it's going to be a very little break, but it gives us a chance to renew that energy and to tap into the way we speak, which is there's a constant variation from thought to thought. All right, now I have a little exercise now. I want to see if people are up to this. I want you to try the one-on-one. The whole point to this event is to give you tools that you could actually practice. So to try an easy version of this, I will give an example. Just talk about life, food. Food is a big part of life. Lunch, the weather, a movie, and I will do that. And I'm going to give one idea at a time. This afternoon, I'm going to have lunch at 2:30. For lunch, I like to have a big salad. A salad with lots and lots of vegetables. Honestly, I don't adore vegetables, but I love being healthy. That is my one-on-one. One idea, and then I stop. And now you know a little bit more about my eating habits and my passion for food. Does anybody want to try that on something like dinner or the weather? Does anybody want to try just speaking one thought at a time? And that's okay. That's okay. But do you want to give it a shot? Is that you volunteering? I don't want to pose. I said it's optional. Yeah, you don't
Can you
have
hear
to.
me? Can you hear me though?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say I didn't mean to be rude and not put something in the chat. It's just that my work Zoom doesn't allow me to put anything on the chat. So
No problem.
But happy to take the challenge here.
Okay. All right. So you can talk about anything. Let's hear you, and we're with you. So take it slowly. We appreciate you sticking your neck out.
So I'd like to talk about my passion.
Okay. Stop.
Which is breakdance. And you may wonder, what is breakdance? So it's really a dance with multiple levels where you go from the top to the middle to the ground. And you may also see a lot of people in the movies.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because I know you. I can push you a little bit. Well, then, do you see how he started off well and then it slipped into the run one? But you're not alone. I think I've met one speaker in 15 years who didn't do that. So start again from, tell us about breakdance.
Yeah, I was wondering how to define breakdance.
Breakdance is what?
Breakdance actually origin from the Bronx, New
And
York.
stop, and stop. Yeah, stop. I told you this was not going to be easy. It really takes you out of your comfort zone. And next,
It's a dance that allows you to take. It takes multiple forms.
stop. Did you see the burst of energy he had when he started that second sentence? And next,
You can stand standing up.
stop,
You can also stand in the middle level,
stop.
but you can also go on the ground where you can spin on yourself.
Okay. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any comments on that? First of all, how did it feel for you? Apart the fact that I'm pulling you back like a horse.
I can definitely tell that this is challenging, and I can already say that I probably make it too long my sentence when I give presentation.
Yeah.
And you were asking who we like. Well, I like Obama as well, and I think this is what he's doing well, one idea at a time. But a lot
Yeah.
of work ahead of me.
You know, I'll talk about that later. It's not a lot of work. It's just a regular practice, a daily practice, a couple of minutes. Any other comments on what it was to listen to? Santa's giving you an applause. Yeah, the difference just by stopping, Marilyn. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. When I get excited about these techniques, it's not just because I love my work. It's because it triggers you, your expressiveness. His voice was more vibrant. Yeah, he's more connected in his voice.
Little
Oh,
comment.
silence is so uncomfortable. Yes, Allison, but boy, is it wonderful. Yes,
Can I
question.
ask what one question, Elsa?
Yes.
How do you maintain the spontaneous, like, human being while pausing for one idea per sentence? Because it almost feels sometimes like a robot, like you're giving one idea and you stop, you're giving another idea, you're stopping, and it may feel unnatural for some people.
That's a great question. This is a practice technique where we will stop and think. Guess what? When you stop and you're thinking about what comes next, you are actually more human than you are in a presentation when you just keep talking. In a presentation, it will just get faster because you will train in this, and your brain is going to start giving you the next thought faster and faster. And we're going to get close to simulating spontaneity. But that's a bit of a misconception because when you stop and you're thinking, that is not a robot. That is the essence of what it is to be human, to be present, to be thinking, to be in your own ideas. Practice makes natural. Absolutely. Oh, I know. Hey, Trump is a lot of things, but he's actually practices a lot of these techniques. Yeah. Okay. Laura's saying it's uncomfortable. I know. And that's another thing. What this does, it triggers that fear of, am I giving enough? Is this enough information for them? That's a mindset that we have. But great speakers, they don't overload us. They don't. Have you noticed that? You notice the pace of those great speakers? Very different. Good. So that's the practice technique. Now look back at this slide with the solution. It's good. It's better. It already improved speaking. But does anybody really speak like that? Does anybody speak like that? Put it in the chat. Does anybody speak like this? Does that sound like a real person speaking? No, it seems written. Not really. Okay, here's what great speakers do. They sound in a presentation the way they sound in real life. Now, I haven't met Obama, my dream, but when I see him in a relaxed interview, or I see Bill Clinton or Michelle Obama or Brene Brown, it's pretty much the same. The rest of speakers tend to go towards the academic. They write for readers, not for speakers. And that is our next tool. And it's called personal speaking style, PSS, your personal speaking style. This is what great speakers tap into. The good news is we all know how to do this. but we don't do it on demand, and we don't do it when we're in a formal situation. Do you know what I mean? Can you all think of a time where you are expressive and you are sharing a story and you are so into the communication, so into this message, you're telling a story, dinner party story, friends are listening because it's a good story. You're not thinking about how it comes out. You're not thinking about being serious, about being professional. That's the area we want to tap into. That's our expression. Now, of course, we've got different versions of ourselves. You're not going to bring the whole dinner party self into every presentation, but going to tap into much more of that. You can bring that in. And that's what the great speakers do. If you have a serious topic, can you imagine yourself talking to that serious client about the serious topic over dinner, where you're focused on communicating? That's the language we want to spur instead of the academic. You know, there is a Nancy Duarte, brilliant writer on this subject, on presentations and slide presentations. I love how she puts it. Here's what she says. She says, the typical speaker goes for this: serious, academic, heavy, give people their money's worth. And great speakers, you know what they do? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Now you may think, okay, hey, I'm not writing a children's book here. But think about it. What do children's books do? What are they? They're clear. They bring people along step by step. They get them engrossed in a story. A lot of short sentences. They keep their audience, a very fussy and easily distracted audience, focused, interested, entertained. Fussy, distracted, that could probably describe a lot of audiences. Now, to prove my point, do I have a volunteer to read the next slide? Here's an example of some great, great, great speech writing. Any volunteers? Any volunteers? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, everybody else, just listen. Try not to read along. Oh, thanks, Dina. Go for it.
But what is good politics does not necessarily work in the real world. What works in the real world is cooperation. Now, why is this true? Why does cooperation work better than constant conflict? Because nobody's right all the time, and a broken clock is right twice a day.
Now that is some badass, great speech writing. Thank you. Thank you. And what was that like to read?
I felt like I was understanding what I was reading, even if I didn't know what I was going to read.
First time reading it, right?
Yeah.
Right. What do you think, everybody? What was it like to listen? He hasn't even worked on it. He's never read it before in his life, I assume. What was it like to listen to him? Easy to take in, Peter says. Yeah. Easy to take in. Do you feel connected when he speaks that way? You want to hear more? Yeah. Yeah. Feel connected. That's the ultimate goal, is that connection between you and the speaker. The rhetorical questions. Yeah, that's a tool that you use. This is a great way. These are patterns in spontaneous speech that great speech writers incorporate. The repetition, Randy. Yes, that is one of the tools that we use. Repetition, these patterns. Speakers, they know what they're doing. At least their speech writers do. Repetition, exactly. Okay, now here's a challenge. I'm going to go back to our little speech here that everybody felt wasn't really like somebody talking. Does anybody want to take a crack at it, even just a few sentences, and put that into a language you would use at a dinner party? And go far, go far. You know, if we don't stretch the limit and push it and see what the limit is, we never know what the range is. Anybody willing to do that? Anybody? And oh, wonderful. Okay, give it a shot.
Okay, so I'm getting over COVID, so if I cough, forgive me.
Oh, I'm
All
glad you're getting over it.
Yes, me too. Me too. Yay.
Fantastic.
Systems have been put in place, and they address every single one of our challenges. So we're confident that the upcoming quarter is going to be pivotal. In 12 months, we'll expect to see gains. That's especially important. Why? Because we might be going into a long period of slow growth.
Well done. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Right on the spot.
Well, I narrate audiobooks as my living when I'm not speaking, and I just wish when I narrate nonfiction, you just know when it is somebody's doctoral thesis and they are writing academically. And honestly, I kid you not, I have sentences that are over 100 words. They're not grammatically incorrect. They're just very fancy, and more often than not, voice talents are told to speak conversationally, and then we're handed a piece of copy like that very first slide that you showed. So
Unbelievable.
I
I wish you could hand it back with your corrections on it.
Oh yeah, but that
Share
costs
that.
money.
Share.
Copywriting is, yes. So that is a problem, and it's especially a problem when speakers use their PowerPoint as their notes and they read off the PowerPoint.
Yeah. It's been out there. Has everybody watched Death by PowerPoint? This fantastic video on YouTube. Go and watch it. It's hysterical and it's right on, and people are still doing that. Allison said, are the engineers the ones who have the 100-word? I've seen this across the board. Speakers who are marketing people and investment people and engineers and accountants and scientists. They are all guilty, guilty, guilty. Fantastic, you guys. Any questions on that? Those are our first two tools: one-on-one, PSS, personal speaking style. Do you see how you can start to apply this afternoon? Anybody have a presentation this afternoon or later on today? Marilyn, I'm going to send you some links on who to watch on YouTube. Death by PowerPoint, fabulous. And there's some other ones too. All right, are you ready for the third tool? Third tool. Now this one is going to be quite different from what you are used to. It is called the spark. The spark. I will demonstrate. Did you say something? I'll do it again. Did you say something? I'll do it one more time for good luck. Did you say something? That is a secret to spontaneity. Let's break that down. What did I say? What was my sentence, my line of text? What was it? You can write in the chat. What was my line? Did you say something? That's my line. That's my line. Did anything happen before I spoke that? I'll do it again. Did you say something? What happened before? There are a few things that happen. I moved my head. Yeah. What else? I leaned forward. Yeah. What else? Watch my face. Did you say something? Did you see anything there? Huh? Yeah. Wait. Watch this. Did you say something? Serious face. I have a very serious face. Yes, people have told me that. Confusion. Yeah, what you see before I go to speak, and you notice that I did launch, what you see before, that's the spark. Gestures usually come before the words. Yes, Randy. And guess what? I'm looking at what happens before the gesture. Where is the genesis of this line? Oh, guys, can you just hang on? Did you see that? Oh, I gotta go. I had an acting group, and I'm always doing this with them. And the doorbell actually rang with my groceries. And I said, I gotta go. And I left, and they said, where did she go? They thought I was just acting. Did you see this? Do you see my spark? You see the spark? Yeah. In human expression, actually, it's not even human expression. I'm going to send this to you too as a follow-up. It is animal expression. I am hit by something happens, a thought. I see somebody who's confused, who might have spoken. I hear a doorbell. I see something outside. And then I respond to that. So that registers, it registers. I want to talk about it. And then I go speak. That moment where it registers is the difference between a good speaker and another average speaker. And once again, great speakers have just figured this out. They haven't figured anything out. They just do this. It's an instinct. And you have this instinct here and there, but you don't understand what it is, if I may be so bold, and you don't know how to do it reliably. Now, there's a whole training that I do that takes a little bit more time to understand that whole reflex. I'm going to start with something simple. And that is, and again, this is going to slow you down and make you feel like, oh my God, I'm so exposed. Slow you down. You're going to wait till you have an idea of the text I'm going to show you. And then you're going to speak. And I'm going to stop you and I'm going to wait. And we're going to all watch if we see the thought register before I allow them to go and speak. This is a rehearsal process. It takes time. We are repatterning the brain to get it to respond spontaneously to the idea of speaking that next thought. All right, so here it is. Now you know this. This has already been spoken. Who wants to try out this spark technique? Any brave souls? Actors call it motivation. Yes, exactly. Anybody want to try this out? Anybody? Do I have any takers? Anybody at all? Anybody at all? No? No, I understand. I get it. I get it. Well, how
I
You
think
have
Peter
someone in
wants
the
to-
chat.
in the chat.
in the chat think? Go for it. Now I'm going to harass you terribly. Are you okay with that?
I love being harassed.
Okay, excellent. All right, go for it. Now, before you do the first one, I want you to just think, take it in, whatever that means to you. Just take it in that thought. And when you're ready, go ahead. Now, is your camera on? Just looking for you here.
Hold on. Maybe not. Let me just see.
I can't see you.
Um,
Oh, there you are. Is
Am I
it
there?
possible? Would you be comfortable putting your camera on? If not, that's okay too.
Yep. Is
Oh,
that it?
wonderful. There you are. Yes. Okay. I saw you before. All right. So we're going to watch, let him take in the thought, take in that first line, and then go.
But what is good politics does not necessarily work in the real world.
And stop, and then take time to absorb the next one.
I mean, what works in the real world is cooperation.
And now wait, wait.
Now, why is this true?
And wait for the next one.
I mean, does cooperation work better than constant conflict?
And then wait, take it in.
Because nobody's right all the time.
Wait.
And broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah. Well done. Thank you for that. We give you a big applause.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
well done. Well done. Now, what did you think, everybody? Did you see the spark? Yeah, pretty good sparking there. Pretty good sparking. Yeah, we could see the spark. Okay, can I do a little bit more coaching with you? Would you allow me that?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, great. All right, so what Peter's doing, he's got his spark, but then he's falling into the tendency of doing a lot with words. Now, this is a trap. When you hear great speakers, you hear a lot going on in the words. Is that correct? Is that right? But if we do that manually, we overdo it. So the secret to speaking is actually, I get my spark and I don't add to the words. Now that's tricky and that will take more time than what I have today. But just for now, get your beautiful spark, which we all saw, and then just speak a little bit more simply. Don't add extra emphasis or extra patterns. All right, we're gonna watch them again and I'll stop you.
Okay. But what is good politics does not necessarily work in the real world.
So much better. Okay, get your spark for the next one and then easy speaking.
Now, what works in the real world is cooperation.
Yes.
Now, why is this true? Why does cooperation work better than constant conflict?
And wait.
because nobody's right all the time, and a broken clock is right twice a day.
Well done. Wow. You would think you were a plant, but you're not. I've never met you
Oh.
before in my life. How is that? I know. Is that? Well, I know.
well,
I mean, come on.
it's an advantage.
Nobody speaks like the Brits.
It's
Yeah.
an advantage when you live in the UK, let me tell you.
I know. What was that like for you though? What did you feel?
Well, it's strange. Like, I mean, like anything like this, it feels more unnatural to do than maybe it does to hear. I'm always aware there's a difference between what you feel and maybe what the audience or the listener's feeling. And, so pausing always feels longer to me than I'm sure it does to the person on the other side.
Let's talk about the pause for a second. Now, first of all, we are practicing. This is just training, and we're going to pause longer. Pauses, when they are rich with thought, when they make sense, when they're motivé, as my mother likes to say, as her piano teacher told her, you can take advantage of those. But what we're working here is just giving the brain a chance to catch up and to absorb the thought so we can tap into how we actually express. So it's two aspects actually. But with this technique, oh my God, I got to tell you something. You will see when you want to take more time to express something, when it's a big thought, not, yeah, it's right over there, not important enough to take that kind of pause. You will feel it out as you do in life. And that's what we want. Excellent. Okay. Does anybody want, I'm going to do a little more coaching with him if he wants, unless somebody else wants a little bit of coaching, because if I get somebody who likes to be coached, I'm all over them. Anybody else want a shot at some spot coaching? And if you don't, that's fine. Anybody going?
I will.
All right,
I
go
will.
for it. All right. Okay,
Yeah.
take a shot at this. Let me find you again. And thank you very much. Thank you for breaking the ice. That was wonderful. Okay, we're going to watch her. Let's see if we get that spark before she goes.
But what is good politics does not necessarily work in the real world.
And stop. Now think, take a moment, take a moment.
What works in the real world is cooperation.
Now wait.
Now, why is this true?
And wait.
Why does cooperation work better than constant conflict?
And wait. Go far now, go far.
Because nobody's right all the time.
Wait.
And a broken clock is right twice a day.
Nice. Well done. Now, can I go a little further with you?
Yeah, I didn't like my last sentence.
That was not bad at all. Hey, it's not easy to be coached in front of people.
Yeah.
Well done. Now, I find that she's not getting to her dinner party range. I want you to go further. This talk was a 45-minute talk at the Democratic Convention, I think in 2008. And I watched the whole thing and I was riveted, and it's not really a topic of interest to me. That's the power of speaking. You're going to wait and you just push the level a little bit, push the range. Let's see if you can go further. Okay,
I feel like what you had said about getting the spark and then just speaking is somehow like, it's like to get that energy for that dinner party. I feel like I'm going to be putting too much into the words.
Absolutely. It's a coordination. It takes practice.
Yeah.
Everybody do this, even if you're on mute. Did you just see what I thought you said? Do that. Everybody.
Did you just say what I thought I said?
Yeah, you can do it well.
Oh.
Did you just see what I thought you said? No, you can do it live. That's good. Go.
Did you just see what I thought you said?
Yeah,
Or,
and then go.
I forgot your words, but
Did you just see what I thought? I got it wrong. Did you just say what I thought you said?
did you just see what I thought you said?
Yeah, I did it totally wrong. I'm
Yeah, it's okay.
Did you just say what I thought you said?
Did you just say what I thought you said?
Exactly. Now watch this. Did you just say what I thought you said? The spark is huge, but then I speak really simply on it. Everybody want to try that out? Did you just say what I thought you said?
Did you just say what I thought you said?
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry about overdoing it. It depends on the context. Now that would be too much for your boardroom presentation.
Okay.
But it shows you the technique. Now do this, everybody. Did you just say what I thought you said? Spark and speak. Yes, exactly, Marilyn. Yes, Peter, I can see you. Yes, Dina. Yes, yes, yes. Again, you're not seriously going to wear that. Yeah, go, Marilyn. You're not seriously going to wear that. Yeah, exactly. So that can be huge. Now do a really small one. You're not seriously going to wear that. Exactly. Same idea, same idea. So if we took this into more cartoony, a little bit, well, he goes very far. Can you do that? Can you go further if you're comfortable doing that? All right.
Sure.
So tell me about politics. Tell me about good politics.
But what good is politics? But what is good politics does not necessarily work in the real world.
And then wait for it. What does work?
What works in the real world is cooperation.
Nice, 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 nice. And now ask me a question. Wait, let it build up first.
Now, why is that true?
And wait. Ask another question.
Why does cooperation work better than constant conflict?
Yeah, wait for it. Now you're going to tell me why. Wait for the spark and go.
Because nobody's right all the time.
And what
a broken
else?
clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, now there's a comma there, but I would say there's a need for another spark there. You want to try the last one?
Because
Wait for this happens every time. When I say redo it, people jump on the line. Wait for your spark. It's got to be there.
Because nobody's right all the time.
And wait for it. What else?
And a broken clock is right twice a day.
Excellent. Well done. Any comments on that? Thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate it. Yeah, well done. All right. So what's next? These are tools, as you see, they're different. They take time. They throw us off our kind of regular just speaking and talking. But they're not difficult to do. It just takes practice. So I challenge you to do this on a daily basis, a few minutes a day, and you will be transformed as a speaker. Can you see that? Does that make sense? I don't know whether you can do that every day, but can you see that this will have a big impact on your speaking? Do you see that? Good. Santa says yes. I get a lot of yeses. Yay. Good. Yes, absolutely, Marilyn. Thank you. Absolutely. Very practical, helpful. Excellent. Thanks, Deborah. Yes, definitely. All right. Now, in order to support this new approach, I want to be able to support this because it's not easy to do this on our own. And I'm going to be starting a group session next week. I said this was a no pitch webinar, and it's not a big picture at all. This is a support for your new speaking style. It's going to start next week, and it's going to be 1 hour a week, 4 weeks. 4 weeks only. And all we're going to do is concentrate on these skills. For those of you who are interested, unless you feel you could do this on your own, in which I say, bravo. It's not easy to change habits. Those who are interested, Sarah's going to drop a link in the chat to sign up for a call with me. No pressure at all, just to get more information for this group session or for a one-on-one, the kind of training that we do with voice and content development and delivery and performance training as well. And then a month from now, we will have our graduation on December 8th. And we will see just how close we are getting to the great speakers. We are at the Q&A portion of this talk. And now I'm all yours. I want to hear your questions, anything about what we talked about today, or anything regarding speaking at all, anything. Any questions at all? This is your chance. Anything?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
The 3 tricks that you shared with us today, would you say that you can apply that in every circumstance or any context? So what do I mean by this question? And by the way, I'm biased. I think this was great. I'm all into it. So I was really convinced, but I was just wondering if you would recommend some folks here to not necessarily follow these recommendations in a certain specific context. like which is like boardroom, or I don't know, you're
Great
giving a speech to
question.
politicians, or I don't know.
Yeah. Anywhere you want to sound human, you should use these tools. It's just about being human. Now you can adapt them, right? Oh my God, everybody, I'm so glad you're here. Everybody, I'm so glad to be here. I'm very glad to be here, Prime Minister. Okay. Actually, I wouldn't ever take that tone myself personally, because it's just not me. Anywhere you want to be human, if you are speaking, it's because we expect a human being. We expect a human being. This is just what it is to be spontaneous. That's all. You can adapt it to any venue. 20,000 people in a large venue. Hello. Or Montreal. A one-on-one over Zoom, very intimate. I want to talk to you about some of the issues we're facing in this project. But I still have my spark. I still have my one-on-one. I still have my own personal way of speaking. My PSS, my personal style, that will vary with the context. But it's still got to be me communicating. Does that answer your question, David? Okay, great.
Yep.
Peter has a great, thank you. Yeah, Peter has a great question. Is it the same on Zoom or live? The same principles apply, but it's like stage acting and film acting. We do have to be aware of the camera. We have to be aware of the size of our gestures. So I get excited, as you can see. I'm very passionate about this work, and it's my cultural background too to get excited. But if I start doing this, it sounds like I'm attacking you with a wild animal. Things like that. Gesture, we need to keep it very low. In fact, when I'm standing up, I also don't want high gesture. When I'm in Zoom, however, there's a real tendency to just reach out, please listen to me. Can you hear me? Gesture, movement too. The movement always has to be related to the energy of my spark. On stage, I'm going to be able to walk. I'm going to be able to do a weight shift. But in Zoom, if I do this, it's too big. If I do this, it's too scary and it seems desperate. So certain things I had to be aware of like that. In terms of the other things, it's the same. I have to be even more brief over Zoom. Attention spans are low or short. Like screen acting versus stage. Yes, same human technique, but we have to make adjustments in terms of size. Writing for, Allison's asking me about courses on writing. Absolutely. We find that just like we talked about, the first two tools are really about the writing, are really about your content. And that's when, who read that? Was it who read that, or who read the Clinton one the first time? Right away, just by reading it, insta good speaker. If you can tackle the writing, put it into your own language, use patterns from spontaneity that all the great speakers do, you're halfway there. That is the biggest part of great speaking. And yes, we do that. We often do. Sometimes I'll help somebody with a TEDx talk. I'll be involved from the writing on. Sometimes we do the editing. Sometimes we guide people through the process of drafting and developing their content. Sometimes we go like intense. I've done an intense one where we had 40, 60 pages of brain dump. And that's where we're really going all the way. And sometimes we just start with an outline and we flesh it out. Voice tone. Thank you for that question, Deborah. Voice tone. It's so funny because I teach at an acting school, and there's some people who believe that vocal tone is something that you take on. And now I'm going to be very gentle, or now I'm going to be very tough. And I say, please don't do that. Please don't do that. That's the same what we were talking about with Peter. Do not impose yourself on your words. Vocal tone, where does it come from? Anybody know? Where does it come from? It's something we've already seen. It comes from the spark. Oh my God. That actually happened to me once right here in the living room. I won't talk about it. That impulse, that spark, when I speak on it, I'm going to get the tone that I need. It's how I am thinking, how I'm responding to an idea or something that I see or hear. So I do not tell anybody to adopt a certain vocal tone. I get them to get their spark, the tone will follow. And the difference is between something authentic and something that's close, but not really. Now, I'll talk about the voice for a second. We do train the voice as well. I encourage everybody to do some voice work, and I will be doing that in the 4-week training. Now, the voice is it's an instrument. It is a muscle. We talk a lot, but we don't train it. And with age, with use that's not ideal, it tends to get a little bit tired. If you can access your full voice already, interesting enough, just accessing your full voice, we feel you. There's a visceral response that we get from somebody who is using their full voice. And I will say that most people over the age of 10 are not using their full voice. And it's too bad. Such a big part of who we are. And there's only one voice that is yours. Laura's asking a bit more on the details of the course. Yeah, I'm going to start next week. Next week, the price. Well, I'll send you the price and all that information. It's going to be 4 weeks, and it starts next week at around this time. I think this is a good time. It kind of for all different time zones. 4 weeks, and we're just going to work on these 3 tools. I want these to be automatic. That's all we're going to do for those 4 weeks. It's going to be a small group. The numbers will be limited. I want to really have a hands-on approach here. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Any other questions before we sign off? Anything, ask me anything. You're welcome, Allison. Thank you so much for joining. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, I want to thank you for your participation. It's a great, great aid to me in my presenting, and it's wonderful to see you trying things out. If you, again, those who are interested, contact me through LinkedIn, and we'll set up a call just to see what I might be able to do to help you in your speaking journey. And remember, this voice, this is not my voice. These are just the vocal cords. My instrument is my whole being. And that is the most beautiful instrument on earth. And that is our birthright to use it fully in all the speaking we do, in our day, in our presenting, throughout our lives. And I hope you take advantage of this beautiful gift. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Clara. Thanks, Nadej. It wasn't a typical speaker session. I hope not. Thank you, Jen. I'll be here for a few minutes if you want to talk. Hi.
Thanks, Elissa. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for your participation and great adjustment you made. That's impressive.
Thank you. I'm sure you're a wonderful teacher.
Oh, I thank you. Okay. And
you. Thank you. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elissa. It was so nice.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Great to see you again.
Yeah, I'll stay in touch. Bye.
Stay in touch. Bye. Thanks for participating. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Elissa. I'm
Deborah,
sorry I was slightly late, but great.
I'm so glad you showed up, Deborah. Thank
Yes,
you.
and I'm interested in your course.
Okay, wonderful. It'd be great to have you. Thank you. And hey, Jen, thank you for being here. Ada, thank you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm still here. This is very efficient. I'm glad. Anybody have any questions for me? Anybody have any more questions? Anybody want to talk to me? No? Okay. All right. Well, then